So, lawmakers approve anti-protest bill. Legislation heads to Cooper's desk. This is in North Carolina. A bill that I mentioned before, where it declares any, group of more than 3 people to be a riot. And rioting is a felony charge in this bill. Now, again, we have this great image here. A wonderful image. Let's see. Can you spot? Hey, does anyone know? Can you spot who this is in this image? They're somewhere. Someone is somewhere in this image. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there in the historical record of IndieWeek.com. I'm just, just throwing that out there. While dodging COVID and ostensibly fumbling towards a state budget, North Carolina lawmakers somehow still found the time to ensure that free speech and the right to protest made it to the chopping block, or maybe the chilling block, rather. I would like to remind everyone that our state legislator, Howard Hunter, a Democrat, also a black man, signed on to this bill. Yes! Let's declare Black Lives Matter protesters against police brutality of an unarmed black man being murdered in my district. Let's call them felons, Howard Hunter said. Because he's garbage. And so are the rest of the Democrats that signed on to this bill. They are trash, they are disgusting, and they are subhuman, in my opinion. Get the fuck out of office and do something else. Go mow my grass. Maybe, I don't know, clean a toilet somewhere. You were clearly unfit for office. Republicans in North Carolina have been following suit with those in Florida and other states that have declared it legal to murder protesters if they're in groups more than 3. That is legal in the state of Florida. North Carolina Republicans want that to be legal in North Carolina. They are disgusting, evil creatures that should go back to the caves where they were spawned from. And the Democrats that sign on to this are just as bad, if not worse. Because at least sometimes they pretend to care about people, but in reality, all they care about is money. Yesterday, House Bill 805, a proposal originally introduced by House Speaker Tim Moore, cleared the North Carolina Senate in a 25-19 vote along party lines. The bill, known as the anti-riot bill among proponents, would increase penalties against those who engage in ill-defined rioting. The bill also requires a judge to set bail for anyone arrested during a protest, which will ensure they spend time in jail. Basically meaning, if you get arrested on a Thursday night, see you on Monday, bitch. Hope you didn't have to work that weekend. Sorry. Opponents of the bill, including Democrats and civil rights groups, say the legislation will have a chilling effect of stifling free speech, the right to assemble, and will discourage peaceful protests. Moore filed the bill 10 days after Andrew Brown Jr. was killed by the Pasquotank County Sheriff deputies. While peaceful protests were ongoing in Brown's hometown of Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Moore made no secret of the fact the bill was introduced as a direct response to the Black Lives Matter protests that erupted around the country last year in response to the police killing of George Floyd and other instances of police brutality. Here's more on the bill from the AP. But many Democrats and civil rights groups feared the measure could have a chilling effect. They already wrote that, but whatever. Among many things, the bill allows business owners to sue people who damage their property for 3 times the actual damages they incurred. Now, for those of you that don't know, Elizabeth City has protested for 132 days in a row. Not a single piece of property has been damaged in any capacity. So, as well as court costs and attorney's fees, protesters who assault emergency responders would be charged with a more serious felony, even if the victim was not physically injured. That doesn't even mean anything. Additionally, those charges with rioting or looting could be held in jail for up to 48 hours, conditions similar to those placed on defendants charged with domestic violence. It sends a message that will cause people to police themselves and simply stay at home, said Senator Natalie Murdoch, a Durham County Democrat. The American Civil Liberties Union of North Carolina is among those opposed to the bill, as it considers the proposal a flagrant attempt to vilify the Black Lives Matter movement and emancipate North Carolina. The state NAACP and Democracy North Carolina also oppose it. The bill returns to the House for concurrence before it heads to Governor Cooper's desk. Cooper already expressed concerns with the bill at a news conference last week. The AP reports and said lawmakers should adopt policy recommendations from a task force to address racial equity in North Carolina's justice system that is administration commissioned last year. We should not have riots, and people should take part, and people who take part in riots should be prosecuted. That needs to be said first. Obviously, Roy Cooper is a Democrat in a red state, and therefore he has to spew this fucking disgusting fucking, like, infected garbage from his mouth. Like, he might as well be like this. Like, this is what when I see Governor Cooper, oh, the rioters should be, like, this is what I see, right? Right? Motherfucker's foaming at the mouth. He's out of control. He's crazy. But either way, he's the governor, and he said that. Said during a news conference, but also we made significant proposals about racial equity in the criminal justice system and some important common sense changes that need to be made, and this bill doesn't include any of them. In a spot of good news, though, the legislature approved the police reform bill that includes some of the recommendations from Cooper's and Attorney General Josh Stein's task force, including measures designed to remove unscrupulous officers and to provide other officers with mental health assistance. I don't know what providing officers with mental health assistance is gonna, I don't know what that's gonna accomplish. I mean, we should be providing the victims of police brutality with mental health assistance. Maybe the family of Andrew Brown Jr. should be given mental assistance, maybe. I don't know. But either way, this is the situation in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. In North Carolina as a whole, this is the world that we are living in. And 132 days, no rioting, no looting, and they still think that we're roaming bands of savages and they want to send us to jail and strip us of our rights. This is the world that we live in, folks. The U.S. of A. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution? Huh? Never heard of it.